Chapter 18. Oxygen. I woke up early the next morning to the sounds of birds singing and other little animals making noises outside. Last night, I had felt that my brain had shut down. I hadn't had any dreams, at least not that I could remember, nor had I felt any panic during the whole night. When I got up from the bed, I noticed a little light shining in through some slits under the roof, lighting the room up enough to see its surrounding. The room was made from simple tools and materials. I noticed that the bed was made from wood which had been roughly chopped by axe, not sawed, which made the surface appear wavy in a uniquely beautiful way. The floor, paved with ordinary clay tiles, was immaculately clean. I pushed the curtain aside and saw Napa busily preparing breakfast. "Good morning, Tim," she said cheerfully, even before I had stepped out of the room. It seemed as if she knew I had been awake for a while. "Good morning, Napa," I greeted her back. "How are you? Did you sleep well?" she asked. "I slept like a log, without having had any dreams at all," I answered, a bit surprised why that was so. "Maybe I was tired out from the hike across the hill yesterday," I remarked. "That's probably one reason, but actually, dreaming is the effort of the spirit trying to communicate with you. So, if you didn't dream, this implies that he has achieved something," she commented. "Really? Do you know what the spirit has achieved?" I asked. "I think you will know soon," Napa replied, flashing me an encouraging smile. While I was talking with Napa, I heard the sound of firewood being chopped outside of the house. "Is Mean outside?" I asked her. "Yes," she answered. "May I excuse myself and join him outside? I would like to see him," I said. "Please, by all means," she said with a smile. I went outside to find Mean. I felt the cold morning air, which was a stark contrast to the warmth inside. It was so chilly that I instinctively wanted to turn around and go back into the house. However, folding my arms tightly in an attempt to keep warm, I decided to look for Mean by following the sound of the wood being chopped. I found him about 20 meters away from the house in a small shed where he stored the firewood and the large and small wooden logs. "Good morning, Mean," I greeted him. "Good morning. How did you sleep on your first night in this world?" Mean turned around to face me while dabbing the sweat off his face with his sleeve. "Very good. Actually, I felt so refreshed as if I had slept for a few nights through," I responded, taking a deep breath. "The difference between your world and this world is the amount of oxygen in the air," Mean said. "As I've explained, the continuous explosion of oxygen at the Earth's core beneath the crust creates a higher level of oxygen density in the atmosphere here. Not only is the fresh air suitable for living in this world, the surface of this world also never changed. So, there are no steep cliffs caused by colliding tectonic plates. This is different to your world where you can see the pushed up or collapsed landscapes, for instance, caused by colliding tectonic plates which pushed the seafloor up to form a high mountain, or forced a mountain to sink to the bottom of the sea. If you look back to the past, you will recognize the regular cycle in which these changes of the landscape have occurred. Right now, the emission of positive frequency by humans in your world has significantly dropped to a historical low. In effect, your world has been in a severe state due to the declining quality and amount of oxygen," Mean explained. "In addition, Having less oxygen not only leads to insufficient pressure to maintain the shape of the tectonic plates but also prevents other kinds of polluted gases to disperse into the atmosphere and out into space. Therefore, this has led to an accumulation of unwanted gases, which turned into thick sheets. This situation will cause the temperature to rise higher and higher, until... Min suddenly stopped his narrative. Until what? I asked quickly. Eventually, the mass of ice at both of Earth's poles will change their state. When they are not in their rightful place, your world will not be at equilibrium. And when the world is in that state of imbalance, it will have to be adjusted again in order to survive. A reconditioning process is required for a new beginning. People who live on Earth will very likely be severely affected. Your world has gone through such adaptive processes at least 4 times already, but this one is probably the most severe. Min said in a sad voice. Are you saying that the natural disasters that occur on my planet are caused by the fact that we human beings have not emitted enough positive frequencies? I asked. Yes. At the moment, the level is so low that it has reached a critical point. Not only is the positive frequency at its minimum, but humans have also emitted negative frequency, which has had a direct and negative impact on the oxygen element beneath the Earth. This element has stored a lot of negative frequency, and the more it stores, the more viscous it becomes, which in turn affects the Earth's rotation and its orbit. But let's not talk about that now. I want to explain the reason why the air here is of a better quality than yours. Min cut me short. But this is a big issue for my world, I said, feeling concerned for my fellow people on Earth. So, can you now accept what I told you yesterday? Min said, reminding me of how I had opposed his explanations the night before. I started to say, reluctant to admit my mistake. Isn't there any solution to save my world from this crisis? I asked instead. Yes, of course there is. In fact, there is a solution to this problem, but it depends wholly on whether you humans are ready to address and fix it. Min replied, the solution is very simple. Your people need to all work together to generate as many positive frequencies as you can, by giving love, by being kind and compassionate, by forgiving, and by living in harmony with each other, and also by not offending others, exploiting nor killing each other, he suggested. As some of your prophets have said in the past, love makes the world go round. This is the positive frequency, the love and compassion that can help sustain your world. Min added, it is very common here in my world, he went on. But let's take a moment and think carefully about it. People in your world are exploiting nature. The rich are getting richer while the poor are starving. Wouldn't it be better to help each other? There are endless wars, separating and dividing territories and countries, and even religions. Wouldn't it be possible to end all wars and love each other instead? Every day, animals are slaughtered for food. Wouldn't it be possible to stop this exploitation? Do you think you can do that? You have to act fast as time is running out. Min explained, well, but on my planet, there are also good and kind-hearted people who care about others and make merits. I argued,